Girls 200 IM from our dual meet on October 31st. We're going to take a look here at lane 5, Alli James. Like I've done for the other meets in the other videos in this meet, I'm going to play the entire race straight through, and then I'll go back and break down different parts of the race afterwards. So here's 2.5 minutes of uninterrupted racing. All right, so heading back to the beginning, let me pull up your splits really quick. So fly, you're out 32.0, backstroke, you're 37.99, breaststroke 46.7, and then freestyle is 35.0. I think the fly split is probably the best of the four. Freestyle split is solid, kind of looking like a donut where there's nothing in the middle, going essentially 38 on backstroke and 46 on breaststroke really hurts, especially when breaststroke is the most critical stroke of the IM. So getting into the nitty gritty of everything, I like that you're set up basically where you want to be whenever the starter has you take your mark. Um, your thumbs need to be in line with the rest of your fingers in front of the blocks. Other than that, it's really good positioning on the blocks. Buzzer goes off. Oops. Buzzer goes off. Solid reaction with arms and legs hitting in a nice line. And we come up for butterfly here. Coming up ahead of most everybody in the heat. Going 2 strokes down, 1 stroke up on the breast for the entire 50 of this is really nice. I like that you committed to this breathing pattern, stuck with it. It allows you to keep a nice rhythm. You notice here your hips roll up with every stroke, which is exactly what you want to do. Going into backstroke, this wall is a little sticky, so you'll notice like you hit this wall, you really absorb into the wall, you're coming up, and then you're falling back. Instead of just hitting the wall and bouncing arms nearly fully extended, you're really absorbing the wall and kind of get yourself a good breath. Now coming into backstroke here, we're a little up and down. So either that is a lack of rotation or combination of your rotation and in the actual way you're pulling the water. Like you might be pushing the water down as opposed to backwards to propel yourself forward. It's a minor thing, but we really need to do everything we can to move ourselves forward. So anything that you're doing to move yourself up is eventually going to result in you coming back down, and ultimately you're not going the direction you need to be going. Real long into the turn for breaststroke, get sticky on the wall there for breaststroke. We get into breaststroke and the head movement is quite excessive. You're coming out of the breath, looking forward, then you're dunking your head to get it back down. We need to have our head still at very worst 45 degrees. If you can get it looking down, that's pretty ideal. But here we just have so much head movement, it's unnecessary, and we're unbalanced. You have a nice shoulder shrug with the arms as you're beginning to shoot forward, but ultimately the head movement is a major issue right now. Our hips aren't coming up and your hips need to come up in breaststroke just like they do in butterfly, and they're not coming up to the same degree. Like they come up a little bit, but they need to come up way more. Get ourselves on top of the water and have a real nice powerful kick to push us forward. And we're coming into the home stretch freestyle. 200 IM is basically 450s sprint, and the middle 50s weren't as intense. You see here, you got a nice drive behind you with the legs, and you're smooth with the arms. I'd like to see you get even more aggressive here on the back half, especially when we're falling behind on breaststroke. Ideally, your fly and free splits are about as close as possible, if not the exact same. That's maybe a little more idea for 400 IM, but at 200 IM to get them as close as possible, you have 32.0 on the fly and 35.0 on the freestyle. So I think we definitely have some room to close here, considering how good you are at freestyle. Nice race, 2:31 end time. Really fun to see you swim that one. Nice job.